The king in the north! The king in the north!
Yo, as always, like, share, subscribe. Now let's just get into it. So once again, I'm here. We here Sunday for the show. Me, Johnny Old Jr., and we got Marcus from A House Divided and Back of the Bus podcast.
What's going on, y'all?
Don't forget to subscribe to those. So Michigan lost yesterday to Oregon 38-21. That was the score, right?
Yes.
And you know, on my post game analysis, I talked about Dan Lanning being petty, running it up at the end.
Sure.
And you can say you got to stop him, whatever. That's fine. I get it. But I had Oregon fans coming in talking that good stuff like they done never did anything worth talking about. They talking that good stuff. And then when I shut them up because your trophy case ain't got nothing but conference championships, why you talking stuff? I'm talking stuff because I'm better at it than you and you ain't got no doggone championships. That's what I'm talking about. I'm starting to hate Oregon fans more than Ohio State fans, bro. I hate to say it that fast, but I'm starting to really not like them, bro. Because they're arrogant like an Alabama fan should be. Like a Georgia fan should be. Mm-hmm. They're arrogant like a who else? Ohio State fan should be. They've actually earned that right. They've earned that right. These dudes really act like they trophy case got more than conference championships and broken dreams and promises. Give me a break. I don't care what nobody say. That was petty. And it's gonna come back around. I can't wait for it to come back around. It might not even be us that it bites them in the butt with this year. Well, we ain't playing them again this year, but stuff like that can come back to bite you the same year. It ain't got to be us. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I had to get on Oregon fans because, and this is another thing I didn't like. Sharon Moore, you went and hugged Dan Lanning for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Why you hugging this dude, bro? Why you hugging this dude?
Hey, Sharon, I'm sorry about the last touchdown, man. We're trying to make it look good. Don't worry about it. We'll talk later. We all good.
Oh, hell no. Yeah. Don't be whispering no sweet nothings in my ear. Boy, you done tried to run it up on my team.
Man, I don't know what that talk could have been about after the last score, but
that's true. I'm not having it, bro. I'm not having it because we over these last 2-3 years we've had countless chances to do somebody bad like that, and we took a knee. Somebody said Michigan on Facebook or something. I seen somebody Michigan's been running up the score for the last. What are you talking about? Nah. Jim Harbaugh went out his way not to run it up on teams, even when sometimes I kind of wanted him to. Mm-hmm. What are you talking about, bro? You know what I'm saying? I would say Oregon act like you've been there, but you've never been a national champion or anything. So what? I can't. I guess that's what you want to do. Hey, we're thumbs down. All right. So y'all y'all wanted to get y'all thumbs down off. For the dude we stomped in the national championship against your rival? Get your dumb self out of here. That got to be the dumbest logic I ever seen. A player that was on Washington last year?
Right.
Hey, is he hurt or something? Am I missing something?
I didn't really get what the thumbs down thing was for.
It's some player, I guess, that was on Washington or something that does that. and I guess he's on Oregon this year or something.
And so but we beat him. Yeah. So yeah, it don't even make any sense. We beat the dog shit out of him.
Pump their chest to like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, you got it. Go ahead, bro.
No, hey, listen, man. I before the game, I said that Oregon fans was being very civil. Now, that was before the game. That was before the game. So I guess I can understand it, man. I didn't pay too much attention to the last score until it was already over when we ran our the expert Philly special, which should now be stricken from the Michigan playbook forever. Never bring it out ever again. I don't care who the personnel is. Never run that play again. But after we did that, I kind of checked out. So, yes, Dan Lanning is that type of coach. That's the way he plays. Sometimes it leads him to get bit in the ass. The Washington games last year would be a bit of example of when that over aggressiveness kind of, it caught up to him. Obviously, we just didn't have the horses this year to really stifle him. So, as it played out, I'm not like upset to the point where excuse me. I'm not upset to the point where like I hate an Oregon Duck now every time I see it.
But I'm almost there.
He said he on tail with him
because they was in my comments yesterday. That's what really gets.
I'm of the mindset that you stop a team from doing that to you if you don't want to see that. You in a vulnerable position as it is if they can even do that to you. So kind of is what it is. You can't leave it up to other teams to respect you the way that Jim went out of his way to.
And that's true. And that's true.
Because you're right. He could have stomped the mud hole in a lot of other people. There are a lot of scores in Jim's in his record that seemed close from the box score, but like he just took his foot off the pedal late in the third quarter and started bleeding clock, and he won the game because of it.
He didn't care. Harbaugh didn't care nothing about the spread because it ain't got nothing to do with real football.
It ain't got nothing to do with him. It ain't got nothing to do with him. Like let Vegas do their thing. Let them do their thing. So so that's that with the Oregon thing. As far as the game is concerned,
I'm on people's head in the chats today. My bad, Marcus. I'm on your head today.
No, you all right. You good.
Take y'all butt whipping like, man, it ain't y'all year. Who are you a fan of, Jalen R? Who are you a fan of? Let me know.
Let us know. Yeah,
let me know. I hope it's somebody good. If not, I'm on your head, boy. I'm on your head. You better have something to celebrate.
It is what it is, man. And teams do this. Programs do this. This is why Illinois stormed the field when they beat us, right? Like we are who we are, and people react to beating us like this because we are who we are. So yeah, down year, I'll take it. I'll take it. 1 out of the last 4, and we coming off a national championship. I'll take it. Now, that's fan talk. In terms of the team, so I knew it was going to be an uphill battle when I seen Jair Hill was out. I expected Will Johnson to probably miss this game, but Jair Hill being out really kind of puts you behind the 8 ball defensively, and you saw it early, right? Like we are worried about Zeke Berry playing man on man from the nickel position. Now he has to go out and play boundary corner. It's like, all right, I'm giving them a little bit of a handicap in that.
And he wasn't the barbecue chicken.
He wasn't the problem. It was Amir Hall, which is it was one of them things where it's like, all right, well, if we get a little bit up from this guy, we should be okay. And then the guy you expect to be steady is the one that has the problems all day. And that was a little bit disappointing.
Jalen R. My bad, Marcus.
Jalen R. Well, you could have expected that. You could have expected that from a Buckeye.
Yeah, and he can expect me to humble him. y'all had one big game that y'all can win every year. Penn State. Man. I can't wait to play Penn State. Maybe JTT will show up
make some time to talk about that game. Please,
maybe JTT will show up for once. He did. He made a couple plays once a year. Penn State. That's y'all big time win every year lately. Penn State. Anybody else? You wet the bed. Go ahead.
Yeah. You know, we'll have time to talk about the Nittany Lions and the Buckeyes as well. But, you know, just in terms of our game, I really thought that it was you really had to try to take something away from Dylan Gabriel. And we weren't able to really get on top of them. They had us on our heels most of the game. You knew that the quick screen game was going to be a big part of their offense. They were getting decent yardage off of that. I mean, that those were just extended run plays, and it helped. It worked. They were getting 4 or 5 every pop. Guys weren't really getting off blocks until the second half. It got a little bit better in the third quarter when they were able to draw things close. I just think, all in all, as bad as it looked at times, I think that they fought. I think that they played really hard. It just wasn't enough. It wasn't what you would need from your defense to try to beat a team like that. It wasn't nearly enough. Offensively, oh boy, we're going down this road again. So I'm gonna give Davis Warren his due, because from what was called, from the offense that he was asked to run, I think he did as good as he could do. I think he did about as good as you can ask Davis Warren to do. There's still kind of habitual things that you're going to see from Davis Warren. He's still going to inexplicably break out of the pocket when the protection is good and roll into a dead spot on the field where none of the routes are going. He's going to do that a couple times. Now, it worked in the red zone, right, for the 2 touchdowns. It ended up working out. But you know, those are things that you just kind of have to deal with Davis. Another thing that came along with, you know, the second consecutive start with him is that the running game has gone completely off a cliff. And so here's where I'm at with folks, right? Because I've seen a lot of, you know, picking Davis up and telling him how good he's played. I think some people are pushing it a little bit far with the idea that if we'd have just stuck with Davis all season, man, we'd have been right as rain. Let's ignore the insanity of letting a quarterback who turned it over 6 times in 2 weeks continue to start. Let's put that aside. How were you going to account for or win the games that you needed the running game to win this season, right? 2 of the 5 wins that you have, the 2 of the Power 5 wins that you have, which would be Minnesota and USC, without a run game. Do you think that top level Davis Warren, which is about 167 yards and 2 TDs, which was a good game for him, but do you think that was beating USC in week 4? Was that beating Minnesota in week 5? The idea of bringing the passing game along, at least theoretically, what it was supposed to be to acquiesce what we already had in the running game, not to completely tank that so that we can put together some resemblance of a passing offense, because our staff is making big promises to a lot of up and coming potential recruits or potential commits. And I think that's kind of where we're at with it. They're talking big cash to the guys coming into the program. And I feel like that's affecting how they're using the personnel of the guys who are already here. Right. It's one thing for me to hear smash. That's who we're going to be. That's our identity. Then we get midway. We're 2/3 through the season now. And all of a sudden we are willing to sacrifice any semblance of a run game so that we can live on the prayer of our passing game.
That's not our identity anymore. That's smash.
You know what I'm saying? Like, where did that? I tweeted that yesterday. I said, where the fuck did smash go? So
they came out the gate trying to be tricky
on first down. I heard you say this yesterday on your post game. Way too fancy on first down. Way too fancy. Jet sweeps, end arounds, just too much creativity on first down. That you don't need that.
I do that stuff as eye candy while I'm trying to establish the run.
The run.
Then I go to that.
Yep.
To me, that's how you're supposed to do it. But
It's like he started out of order. He started with the counters before he established what it is to pay attention to.
exactly.
And again, that is not a sign of somebody who is lacking in personnel and just needs better players. That is somebody who has decided to do one thing and is going to ask the players to do that thing no matter what the field, the game, the situation dictates. We didn't just see that in on offense as well. We've seen it in coaching decision making on special teams too. How in the world? Look, Trey Pierce is a true sophomore. He's getting his first like effective play duty this year, probably within the last couple of games. So like his mental, how he's thinking the game, I don't expect it to be Mike Sainristil level. I don't expect him to have the rules flying through his head of how you cover a special teams play with all these funky formations every snap. I just don't, right? Because he don't play.
And Dan Lanning was cold for that one.
He
that
knew
was some cold stuff. He knew.
He knew
because it was, what was it, 4th and 4?
It was 4th and 3, 4th and 4. Yeah, it was enough to pick up.
And we hadn't seen that before. He did that. Boom. He knew they was gonna mess it up.
But do you know who absolutely should know to call timeout, to send in a check, to get to the sideline and scream holy hell? Trey Pierce, get off the ball. Trey, get off the ball. Get off the ball. Somebody yell to your gunner, how your gunner get it over to him. Get off of the ball. They didn't know. They didn't know. They were out there looking at the play. Like if you haven't seen this situation before, this is kind of comparable to having 12 guys on the field in a punting situation, right? Like that's something elementary that a coach would catch as they're getting lined up. Your special teams coordinator absolutely has to see that. And if your special teams coordinator doesn't see it and your head coach doesn't see it, where are we at? Where are we at? Because at some point down the line, there has to be an executive decision maker that checks all of this. They say, hey, what the hell are we doing? We got somebody over the ball. Move. And in all honesty, there isn't a punting formation where you are allowed to line up head over the center anymore. So there really, the tricky formation really isn't an excuse. It's not an excuse because there is no formation anymore in football where they allow you to cover up the long snapper or cover up the snapper in field goals. You're not allowed to do it at all. The only time you can cover up the center is on an offensive snap. So there's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse for that at all. I think a lot of this game, even though Oregon is who they are and we had the obvious mismatches on the outside, they lost Tez Johnson in the first quarter. That was I'm hoping he comes back healthy, but
they lost that O-lineman too, didn't they?
Yeah, and an O-lineman. So those were big steps, man. That drew you close. The offense early was effective enough to stay in the game, right? 7-3. Then it got to then it was 10-3. It got to, or was it 21-10? We were before the snafu at the end of the half with the defense giving up that drive, man. I just don't understand what the game plan was, because it as crazy as it sounds, it felt like they went into that game thinking that they could keep up offensively with Oregon. At no point did I feel like they were trying to lengthen possessions. Were they calling plays that would benefit holding the ball? If you're throwing or if you're doing trick plays on first down, you're catching up on second, right? Especially for us, because we're not a good passing offense. So you're constantly catching up on second down. Well, if you done threw a pass or incomplete pass on first down, clock stopped and you're behind the chains. So you're more than likely giving the ball back with like minimal time coming off the clock. And that just gives Dan Lanning and that potent Oregon offense more opportunities. They had way too many shots at the end zone in the first half of the game. And it was because we were calling plays. I don't know, man. I don't know how we get out of this season. And I'm serious. I said this in week 3. right, at the Arkansas State game. I said this after the USC game. Said it after they benched Alex Orji in the Washington game. And again, this is not an Alex Orji rant because I feel like Alex missed some plays today as well. He was one of the leading rushers, but there was a couple plays where he probably could have hit some bigger plays for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he left some plays on the field trying to cut it in. Like, bro, that outside is there for you.
It's there. It was there a couple times. He could have got out there. But then again, you ain't gonna let the man play 7 snaps in a game.
Yeah, it's a hard role.
You know, how is he gonna get the rhythm running the ball if he's only gonna play 7 times? He never plays back-to-back plays. And by the way, everything you do with this carousel is completely predictable because you won't run with Davis and you won't throw the ball with Orji. It's like if I handed the sticks to my 7-year-old and I said, do something creative with these players, right? Do something that it doesn't look like they're able to do. He'll call a running play. He'll call a running play for a passing quarterback because that's simple, right? That's an easy way to affect the defense and keep them guessing. Give them a moment, a second to pause. He's not good enough. Not good enough.
Fact.
Not
small good time. Small time. Small potatoes. But that's a good point that you said though, Marcus. If Davis is somewhat mobile, and he is, you need to use him on the read sometimes.
Yep.
The offense is what it is. You got to help.
Yeah.
Hey, ain't no Ryan Day. I can't run my quarterback. He might get hurt, bro. We ain't got championship aspirations. You throw it all out there for these dudes. You know what I'm saying? So it's similar to James Franklin. Boneheads are us.
Oh my
on the
God.
Goal line, you run it 3 times. They're begging Alar to keep it. They're begging you, man, take the touchdown. If he keeps it, then hey, they gonna score. We don't care.
Hey, you know what's worse than a Philly special on 4th and 5 on the goal line? 4th and 3 with your backup left tackle at wide receiver for the game. For the game. Bro. Like if there was one play caller on Saturday who had the Blues worse than Kirk Campbell, it was whoever dialed that shit up in Happy Valley.
Yeah.
It was whoever dialed that shit up in Happy Valley.
It ran it again. My thing. You ran it 3 times. You trying to prove you tough, I guess. So
and you got 2 yards
down, let's get
every time. You use 2 yards out. You got 2 yards on 3rd down. On 2nd down. You got 2 yards on 3rd. Get off the ball, light them guys up. Let's go get it. I mean, your quarterback is flawless forever.
What are we used to seeing? We've seen this at Michigan for a long time. Run it 1, 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, 4th down. Give me every big man you got.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring them all in.
Yep.
We about to go. We going goal line. We bringing all the big boys in. Let's go. What's the point of? To me, when you run it 3 straight times on the goal line, you're trying to prove you're tough.
Yeah.
We can get in running the ball. That's a toughness factor. Okay, let's get it. Bring in all my beef. Bring them all in, and we about to run this ball for this 1 yard on you.
If you're gonna go 4 down territory inside the 5, 2nd down is your passing down. 2nd down is your passing down. You establish the line of scrimmage on 1st down. 2nd down is when they're going to be most susceptible because they're probably going to be within 5 yards if you didn't get a negative play on 1st down. They're going to be high alert on the goal line. So any run action you give right there at the line is going to get a huge reaction. 2nd down is your throwdown. You don't want to throw on 3rd or 4th because now it's more predictable. Now they're ready for a pass. Now they're ready for a pass. You got to throw that thing early. If it don't work out, you need to try the next 2 downs to push them into the end zone. Again, I'm not Bill Belichick, man, and I'm not claiming to be, but some of this stuff, and I keep saying this week over week, feels elementary. Some of this stuff feels like if you're the head guy and you see it not happening, hey, come here. Listen. No. 2nd down is your rundown, okay? Give me something. Give me a heavy play action on 2nd down, and then the next 2, try to run it in.
It feels like James Franklin, Penn State fans. I feel you. It's sunken place. He in the sunken place in these games. Sharon and Kurt, same too. They get in the sunken place, it seems like. And because that third down, what was it? 3rd and 7, and this is the game. We run Khalil Mullins, right?
Right up the gut for about 3 yards. Yep.
He's done nothing this game.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing, bro? Then you come with the Samaj play that's even worse.
Yeah, you're right, because we could have picked up a first down. At that point we could have picked up a first down. So
and that's why it's 4th and 4. Why the hell are you running this, bro? This ain't no Friday Night Lights throwback to whatever the quarterback.
The Sam Winchell. The Sam Winchell
placements with Keanu Reeves, bro. What are you doing? 4th and 4.
Hey, he had Bobby Boucher on the mind.
This ain't no made for TV movie, bro. 4th and 4, you find a play that your quarterback that has been playing well knows how to execute. You say, Loveland, I'm going. Hey, I would have accepted one of those little plays to Loveland that they do.
Got it. The 4th and 2 against Alabama, end of regulation.
You know this ain't.
Hand off to the back, let the back leak out into the flat. Nobody ever covers the back that you fake it to. Easy 4 yards right there, right now. Throw it right now.
That play calling was that was embarrassing, bro. Like, this is a made for TV movie. Give me a break. Throwback pass with Samaj. I'm about to bring you up, Maniac.
Samaj ain't thrown a pass at Michigan
ever. Who would trust him to throw a pass, bro? I ain't trusting him to
4th down.
He's erratic.
Poor Orgy sinking to the camera.
He's an erratic guy.
My boy got hit decapitated at the video camera.
Ain't no way. What up, bro?
Amateur hour. What up, Maniac?
Yo, gentlemen, how we feeling, man?
Alive.
Yo, you guys, listen, y'all in church right now. Y'all preaching the gospel. I'm hearing it. I'm feeling it. Johnny came up on our show yesterday, man. We was spitting bars, for about 3 hours, man. Everyone shout to everybody that came through, man. And it's just tough, man. Just watching the team. And one thing I mentioned is the inconsistency. And then Dom, shout to my man Dom. He said it perfect. Michigan's been consistent in being inconsistent this year. That's been the biggest problem. You're not going to win, right? You're not going to win in life in general if you're not consistent doing the right things, right? You're going to hit a bump in the road here and there. But Michigan has just been either we play one good half and we like, ooh, and then it's like, uh-oh, here comes bad. And we saw it yesterday. We've been seeing it the whole season. So, and then top that off, the play calling. And it wasn't the worst game call yesterday, but we know that 4th and 4, you're right, Marcus. I never want to see that play in Michigan history again. Right? I seen it against TCU and our first drive. They did it with Colston Loveland. They try to throw it back to JJ. Stop it. Stop it. It's done. And then if worst case scenario, you have Bell, right? He was a high school quarterback. At least somebody with some experience, a receiver that could throw the ball, if anything. But it was just a bad call, man. You put it, Johnny, you said it. You put it in the hands of your guy that's been playing well. Davis Warren, 2 red zone touchdown passes, scrambling at that. Scrambling, one to his right where he hit Tyler Morris, and then to his left when he hit my man O'Leary. Put it in his hands, man.
He got
the
wasn't Kirk. You know what I'm saying? That was him. That wasn't Kirk calling a great play.
Yeah, which is true. He made those plays at that. And we cooked Davis Warren. Let's make no bones about it, right? Because we were just upset on how he played. But man, I said, can he repeat the following week why he did against Michigan State? And he played better. He played better against a better team. Against a better team.
Let me ask you a question about that, right? Because I have long, and this predates going to Tuttle. Like I said this back when we were struggling versus Arkansas State. I think something that has been crucial to the direction of the offense this year has been deciding what it is that you can maximize this year on whether or not that was going to be run or pass. And for me, I kind of saw the writing on the wall a long time ago that the path down the passing route, even if it's the best possible scenario for this year, it doesn't feel like a winning scenario. So let me ask you, like, even with Davis Warren balling out like he did yesterday, 2 passing touchdowns in the red zone. I think one of those was like our first passing touchdown to a wide receiver in weeks.
Yeah, since the Minnesota game.
So even with that type of Herculean effort, look how far we are behind in total yards. Look what's happened to the running game. So, like, even if Kirk Campbell called it perfectly, even if Davis played it perfectly, even if Alex came in and gave his snaps perfectly and did everything he was supposed to do, we were still going to be behind an 8 ball here because we were late in the third quarter and we only had 49 rushing yards.
Yeah.
So, like, we were preaching balance when we were running too much, according to some, and then all of a sudden it's flipped, and now there's a lot more optimism, and I just I don't put those two things together.
Yeah, we got down so fast. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That by the time it was second half, midway through the second half, I almost was ready for, like, abandon the run, bro. Hey, ain't no need of running no more. Davis is slick making plays. Let's try to go deeper in your playbook of passing plays now that you. And this is a problem with me. To me, this is a good route tree for guys that are NFL receivers. They're gonna be running them routes, getting in and out of them breaks how they supposed to. And if you have the time, okay, he's cooking. He's a good NFL receiver. These dudes, besides Loveland, to me, you should have basic routes because they're not great route runners. Let me see you on the simple stuff: drags, slants, go routes, posts, skinny posts.
Yeah, I like the simple stuff that has them going across the field. The drags and the overs, we should have been seeing more of that because these guys are fast. What he likes to do is he likes a lot of stick routes. He likes a lot of outs, like a lot of things that defenses can just push in front of them and then react. Yeah, there's nothing that I don't have to carry a guy 20 yards across the field. I just got to keep my feet straight and hit what's in front of me. And it's very, very easy to go about. Marmar, you can have it. You can have Davis Warren. Again, my logic is telling me that Davis Warren is never going to be a 300-yard passer here at Michigan. It's never going to get to that level. And so if that's not what we're shooting for, if that's not possible, you're going to be scratching, clawing, fighting, looking for opportunities, looking for breaks, passing for 160 yards and 2 TDs. So if that is the type of football, that enjoys, okay, cool. I just felt like they made the wrong decision. If they'd have decided to lean into the run, at least that gives you a competitive advantage. There is no competitive advantage in us passing this year because even at our best, we're not that competitive.
Correct. Yeah. And I think more so, right? Just to allude to Johnny's point, I think being down so early, right? And you notice, right, early on, man, we couldn't do nothing lateral. That defense was fast, bro. They was just like, just nothing sideways. But once we start going north and south, east and west, bro, they couldn't really stop it up the middle. I mean, we that's where we had our most success. Excuse me. Now let's say they couldn't stop it. So I don't know. I think Kirk Campbell, it's something in his mind where it's like he needs to go back to what he wants to do, opposed to you got to feel the game. All right. What are we doing good? Right. Let's stick to that. I don't care if I have Jerry Rice out there. If I could run the ball, this is what we're going to do. If this is how we moving the ball, you're going to take your chances, of course, but you stick to what's working. You got to feel the temperature, especially with this offense where we don't really have the horses. Honestly, with the exception of Coast and Loveland, who do we really have? And this is why, to the other point, we have to go all in to get someone like Underwood, because we cannot see this again at Michigan, bro. This is unacceptable, right? Because this ain't bad. This is atrocious. This is horrendous. This is Sam Cassell ugly. Tyrone Hill ugly. Like, this is, I'm ready to throw my little daughters out the way. I'm arguing with my wife because she mad. I'm oh, don't watch football. I said, mind your business. Go in the kitchen, make me something, man. Don't come at here mad because I'm mad at Michigan. Shit. So we this is we no one expected Michigan to be elite this year. The realists, right? But we didn't expect this neither, man. We expected better. 9-3 would have been beautiful right now. That was only our second loss of the season. We'll be mad, but we like, yo, listen, we got 3 more. Now the season comes down to Ohio State, the bottom line, right? Yes, Indiana next week. They've been playing the best season in their history, whatever. I'm focused on the 30th. Let's prepare. Of course, we want to win next week. I'm not saying we play to lose, but we have to. That's our natty. That's it. That's the bottom line. What do we do on the 30th? It's going to say a lot, right? Because, yes, we hate seeing losing to Illinois and Washington, but we cannot go in the shoe and get embarrassed. Can't be 41-10 kind of game. You're going to lose, make it competitive.
Honestly, I don't know if they have the capacity to blow us out. They'll more than likely beat us. Because they'll outlast us, right? That's just how it's going to be from now on. We will show glimpses of being able to be competitive behind Davis. I do think that the repetitive starts is going to help bring them along. I just don't think it's going to get anywhere near close to what we would need to depend on him to win us games. So for Ohio State, you better. How we already aren't talking about Sherrone Moore calling the plays is a bit disappointing. Even him talking about the 4th down call, right? He was like, well, we're not going to talk about the play caller. We're not going to criticize. You didn't have a problem saying that we can't turn the ball over when Tuttle did it. You didn't have a problem saying it when Alex Orji was getting balls batted down. You didn't have a problem saying it when Davis Warren turned the ball over early season. So the only person who can't be criticized publicly, I guess, is Kirk Campbell. The only person who can't do better, or we have to be better, or we have to get a better call, or we have to do something. We can't say nothing negative about our guy. That's his guy. That is his guy. So last question I'm going to ask you. You mentioned Bryce Underwood and going all in. Do you believe even having a talent like Bryce Underwood or a transfer portal guy, because I think they need to do both. If they're going to get him as a true freshman, they need to go after a transfer portal guy too. But even with the raising of the level of personnel, you think that fixes our problems offensively, given everything you've seen this season?
Well, that's a great question because it all depends who's coming back, who's calling the plays. We cannot have a person like Bryce Underwood come and we have what's going on with that offense, right? So I think without a doubt, we're going to get dogs. I think, you saw Meadows was there. Not saying we're going to get him, but that's also a good look. We need guys on the outside too, man. We need legitimate threats at wide receiver, man. It's just going to make, because look at Cornelius, our 2 receivers, right? We had Cornelius Johnson and Roman Wilson. No, these guys weren't 5 stars. These guys weren't some freak athlete receivers, but you have to respect them. You have to respect them. I don't think nobody respects our receivers, right? So that's going to have them crowding that line of scrimmage. It does make it hard to run. I know we keep saying, run the ball, but sometimes that run is not going anywhere. So you do got to kind of pass as well. I mean, it should have been more yesterday, but I guess getting down so fast, it's like, damn, bro, we got to do something here. And that's the problem that I know Johnny, you, Marcus, and all of us have with Wink is his inconsistencies as well. Now you hold them to 10 points in the second half. We couldn't do something similar in the first half.
Nobody's ever on the same page. When we are holding them down, we can't move the ball. And then when we're moving the ball, we seem to be getting walked up and down the field on. There's no complimentary play. The DNA of what this team used to be is fading. It's fading.
Yo, Cameron, Marmar.
What's good,
What up,
y'all?
Go?
Go blue, man.
What up?
Go blue.
Marmar.
Hey, Marcus, you just said what you just said is gone. Yeah, it's gone. When Harbaugh left, all that left.
Mm-hmm.
The mentality, no leader.
Yep.
Like somebody pointed out, I think it was Dom. He said there's nobody standing up like Mike Sanders still getting them,
Yep.
getting the kids focused. There's no leadership, and more. He just want everybody to like him. I understand he got the love for the kids, but hey, today, man, you in a business.
Less of a
You in a
player.
business.
Yeah, less
Yeah,
of a
yeah.
player.
You got to do what Harbaugh did. You know, Harbaugh didn't take no mess, and
Mm-hmm.
you standing on the sideline like when the Texas game when they were like they did us like they what they did to us. He just looking up in the air. I had to look with the TV with him and look at what he was looking at because I'm like, you just standing there, you're not saying nothing, and it's like, yeah, the identity gone. There's no more the culture. You remember when Joe Klatt said in the spring game, he said, I asked several more, what's changed? Because you saying the culture is still the same, the players are still the same, the mantra is still the same, but it ain't. We ain't seen that all season. I give them a little credit for yesterday. They held up even without our
Yeah.
two best cornerbacks. I think that was okay, but like I said, all that is gone. The hardball mentality is gone, and Sharon Moore gonna have to figure it out before we have to deal with it next year, and then we be on these videos again doing the same thing.
I don't know if anybody else felt this
Facts.
way, but did it feel like
What up, though, Johnny?
What up,
did it
bro?
feel like we were like chasing early? Like it felt like even when we first time we got the ball, that we were already signaling to them like we know we can't beat y'all.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Yes.
mentality.
Like we
Yeah,
know
like
we can't beat y'all.
yeah,
That's the way they felt like they were calling the game. Like we know we can't beat y'all. We just
Yes.
trying to stay up.
They
No,
was
And that's what
playing
I was
scared
talking
the
about.
first half. You can look at it. When you saw the second half, what the defense do?
they stepped
Clamp
up.
shut
down.
him down, shut him
Mhm.
down.
And that's when the confidence came. But here you go again. The damn play calling in the fourth quarter.
Horrible.
That 4th and 4 was terrible, man.
Yeah.
And
Why
that's
That's
we
what I was
can't?
talking about on that car live I
Yeah,
did. What was that? 2 days
yeah.
ago. You if the dudes don't have confidence in what we're doing, and you haven't gotten them to where they believe they can win, or if they don't believe in what you're talking about, your scheme, so they don't believe they can win, we ain't got a chance. And half the time it looked like
Facts.
either one side or the other, they ain't believe. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You got to believe you
Hey,
can beat somebody to actually beat them.
hey, Johnny. So we score, convert that 4th and 4, and then you score. The crowd going nuts. The stadium hype. Now the players feeling. You know how it
That
go.
was it.
You start feeding off that hype,
And they ain't
and
really
then
did nothing in about a quarter.
That was
yeah,
it.
and
You
then
put the pressure
yeah,
on
and
them.
then
You never know what
yeah,
might.
yeah.
That was it right there. So when we didn't get that, and the fact that
It
you
was
did
over.
3rd and 7, Rand Mullins, who's done nothing this game, then you come back with the worst play call we've ever seen
Yeah.
on a 4th and 4.
The damn Philly special.
Philly
Never
special,
again.
bro.
I better not hear the word Philly special. No, we can't even recruit a player from Philly. I don't want to hear that shit no more.
Hey y'all, did we get mad when we did that bull crap against TCU,
TCU.
man?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So why would you pull this? Hey, if you looked at it, when they tried to go sideline to sideline at the beginning of the game, I know
Yeah.
y'all was screaming like they too fast for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Attack them.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
we
yeah.
started attacking them, what happened?
He broke some runs.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Broke some runs.
So I don't care what nobody say. We was in this game the whole time, and it was just the play calling to me.
yeah.
It
The
was the play
coaching.
calling.
Yeah.
We was in the game.
Yeah. We was
We
in the
was in the
game.
game.
But they had the chance to make this. All right, hold
Yep.
on. Michigan down 7 in
Yep.
the 4th to Oregon.
Yep.
Oh,
Let's
let's see
go.
what
Let's
Yeah.
play.
Yep.
you get
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah. We
Phones blowing
definitely
up. Twitter feeds blowing up. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Hey,
that was.
did y'all see the coach try to score? He wanted to score. He wanted to score. I don't care what nobody say. He wanted to score on that play. That last drive, he wanted to score.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
He
did.
could
He
he's
put
wanted
it
to
out
run
the
it
of
up.
reach.
same type
He
of
wanted to
guy,
run
bro.
it up.
I'm noticing that. I don't like Dan Lannon or Oregon fans right now. I don't like them.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't like them. They've
Here's the
been coming
thing
on
about
my
Oregon
video
fans, though.
talking
You know
cat.
they're not about to be good for like the next 5 to 10 years. Like that's not they thing. Oregon as a program has always done this.
I
And
know.
they've rarely maxed out at the title status. So just bide your time. Wait until they have a lull in their schedule, and then we going duck hunting. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, and you know what? It is what it is, man. You got to take the good with the bad, right? We had a
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal 3-year run that we owned the Big Ten for that time of period, 3 straight playoffs, and now you don't think people are looking at that and I'm like, oh, they're the defending champs. They're like, no, hold that, and go ahead, cry. I don't like it, but you know what? I understand. You know
Mm-hmm.
what? And it's all good because you know what? Michigan, for those that think Michigan is going into dark times, papi.
Nah, they coming.
Papi. Let me get my Spanish in here. Papi. We got that NIL. We coming with those bags. So
Yeah.
Michigan is going to be all in moving forward. So we're going to get top guys. That's not going to be the problem. Marcus, to your question, can we develop them now with this staff?
Yeah.
Right? Can we put together a decent offensive scheme? I mean, it helps, right? We don't know. But having Underwood is like not having your license and they give you a key to a Ferrari. Shit, I'm going to figure know how to
the
drive.
car, right?
I don't care.
Got the car. Yeah.
I don't care. I'm going to
Yeah.
drive this Ferrari, Johnny. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make it work. I might go 40 in the beginning, right? But once I get it, boom, it is what it is. So, I'm excited, man, for the future of Michigan. I hate that we're going through what we're going through. That team down south, they enjoying, they basking, and I don't blame them because we'll be doing the same thing. Let's keep it real. We'll be doing the same thing. So all we got to do is, man, moving forward, that hopefully one game, man, and these next 3 games, we could strike lightning in the bottle. And I'm not talking about the Northwestern game because that's going to be a scratch and claw game. We might win that game by a field goal. Who knows, right? But Indiana, Ohio State, and we could get one of those, mainly the 30th of this month is the one
Oh,
that we could get somehow. On paper, it doesn't look good. I'm not expecting. But this is college football, guys. Every week we got upsets. A couple of teams lost their O's. So, and it's a rivalry. Just like in NFL, those division games, that team in last place beats that team in first place. And you're like, how? We saw Cleveland just beat the Ravens. So, bro, college football is no different. Anything can happen, especially in rivalry games. So it's going to be interesting moving forward how we look. And it's on, the scheme.
Hey, Donovan gonna have the best game of his life in that Ohio State game. Watch.
He better.
Purple Marcus.
Yep. What's up?
Purple Marcus.
What's up?
What's going on, champ?
Oh,
What up?
man. That's disappointed in how we playing.
Just disappointment.
Yeah, I can't even get mad, man.
Yeah, you get numb
I've
to
been
it.
saying we probably gonna lose every game. Since, we could lose every game since week 4, week 3.
They better have a chin strap for Northwestern so they can get bowl eligible. They better strap a chin for Northwestern.
Hey, you remember that line P and J the kid was saying? He said, "Kid drop down the eyes. He too tired to cry than me right now. I'm too tired to cry."
Listen, man. We definitely need a bowl eligible. Where we headed to? We headed to the SpongeBob and Friends Krabby Patty Bowl. It is what it is. We gonna play Central. We gonna play Central. We gonna play a community school, but it is what it is.
Hey,
I hope we get the Quick and Lanes Bowl. You feel me?
Park Bowl.
Man, I hope we come to
Motor City Bowl.
I hope we come to new.
The Quick and Lanes Bowl.
I hope we come to the Pinstripe Bowl. That's 10 minutes from me, Yankee Stadium. I'll be right there.
Man, we going to Detroit Ford Field.
That's what I said. They go to the Motor City Bowl for sure.
Hey, Duke Mayonnaise Bowl in Charlotte.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise.
And if they win, they go pour the mayonnaise all over Coach Moore.
Yeah.
Hey, pour it on Kurt Campbell.
Yeah. Let me ask the panel right here, guys. So far, right, 9 weeks in, who do you see? Who's your top 3 teams in America right now?
Man, it's
tough, man. It's just Oregon to me. Just Oregon. I don't see nothing else. Yeah, I don't see nothing else because everybody else, like Georgia, was struggling with Florida, but they go and do Texas like Texas did us. You
Yeah,
know,
Georgia played up to their competition though. But when the lights on, them dogs show up though. I had to give them credit when they play the big boy. They do show up now. I give
Man,
them credit. They play
They
Exactly.
against the
can't
level of
keep doing
competition.
that though. They can't keep
yeah, yeah,
playing
But
with
yeah,
they
that
you,
too,
improved.
yeah,
because
you
that'll get them
gon'
They
beat
you
to the
gon'
improved.
12
yeah,
team
yeah,
playoff.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they can't keep playing with
And,
fire though. You right
I
though.
think
and we
they
need
just
y'all to
waiting
beat
around to
Ohio
get
State in the
to.
playoff.
I think they just waiting to get to the 12 team. Once they get to the 12 team, all right,
Yeah,
now
yeah,
we know all of these matter. Let's get it. And to
yeah.
me,
Yeah.
that's
Hey,
what
I got a question for y'all
they
though.
got to get there.
Do you think okay with like I I'm okay with Michigan being in this position this year because the playoff, and then now the playoff runs to January 20th. I feel like that affects the transfer portal because it opened up right after the conference championships.
It affected us.
Then yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, because you
yeah.
don't get to do your winter workouts. You got kids early enrolling to get them caught up on the playbook and you develop through the system. Do you think that affects the people in the playoffs this year? To like where like they ain't gonna be able to get the kids out of the portal, the good kids out of the portal, and the teams that don't make the playoff have a better chance at receiving these kids. Um, yeah, that's how I feel, man. Like it affected us last year. I mean,
I
it
think
it
Georgia
is.
though they kind of keep their own though, so it don't. I
Yeah.
say teams like Georgia, it don't really affect them because they keep a stock,
Yeah.
on their roster, so it don't affect them. I think the other teams, it may affect them because like Oregon, they like to do the transfer portal. The team they really depend on the
Hmm.
transfer portal, it'll affect them more so than the big dog like
Ole
Georgia and so
Miss,
forth.
Miami,
And
if they got
Yeah,
this man
Ohio
beat.
State lose a lot too this year. Ohio State gonna lose a
oh, it's
They
lot.
over
do.
for Ohio
But they
State.
Yeah,
recruit
but
They might
well.
well count
but they good recruiters
count their
though.
They,
They
they
can
destiny.
do.
recruit, bro. They can
Ohio
recruit.
State. Ohio State recruits like the SEC
Yeah,
I
top
so
tier.
they
feel you,
straight.
they
but
they, they
this
recruit, but
time,
they
But
don't
they're
get
gonna
but
they
this
lose a
don't
lot,
benefit from it
Marmar. You're
though.
right
yeah, yeah,
though.
yeah. This
They're
time
gonna, they're gonna
around,
lose a lot
Ohio
this
State
year.
ain't gonna look like they did this year.
Nah.
They
They
gonna take
good
a
for
hit
years
this
and
year
really ain't had no championship,
because they
maybe
try to
one
do
or
what
two.
we did. Yeah, they try to do what we did the year prior, and you see what they ain't gonna go undefeated or win a national championship. But they lose a lot because everybody came back. Travion Henderson
Yeah.
been there since 2015, and
Yeah, I mean,
and still trying to beat Michigan. So
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I just feel like we'll be better equipped this time, and these coaches will be able to gel together, and we'll see a different product next year.
yeah, for sure. We got to get rid of two guys though, Wink and Cameron though. We got to start with them first. We got to get them out of there. Then we'll go from there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
Campbell's
you
buyout
don't
can't be about nothing. But
Now
y'all don't
we need to
think
get them
that
right apples out the bunch, man. Them right apples
he threw this
spoiling the fruit.
y'all don't think more threw this staff together real quickly because he had to, and they didn't get a chance to do an off season together because everything had to be thrown together because Jim Harbaugh and JJ, they took their time to make these decisions. They should have made it. Like I went to the championship celebration, and I'm in there, and I just had this vibe that none of these people was coming back, but the crowd is screaming 4 more years or to
one
Harbaugh,
more
one
year.
more
It's
year for
true.
JJ. Yeah, and
I think
Ward wasn't even. In my opinion, Ward should have gave him a contract right after the national championship. I would
I
have.
think it was grudgy though for Jim Harbaugh because he pissed off at Royal Manual
Yeah.
and so forth. So it was like I'm gonna give you my middle finger. I did what I had to do.
Yeah,
Won the
yeah, yeah,
championship.
and
It was
take
like,
Yeah.
well, you
everybody
know
with
what?
him.
Forget y'all.
But
Screw y'all. I'm leaving. You know what I'm
but
saying?
yeah. It's true, but let's just even say if Jim Harbaugh came back, guys, he'll be suspended for the season. So he wouldn't be
Yeah.
coaching on the sidelines, even if he did come back. So let's also take that into account. And who would have been the interim coach? Most likely Sharon Moore.
One
So,
more.
but maybe the staff is more intact. We probably have Jesse Minter there. We still probably have Clink, it depends. So we probably would have had our main core of coordinators still there. Even if Jim Harbaugh came back and had to serve that 1 year suspension that the NCAA handed down, but we know he ain't coming back to college, so he's like whatever.
No.
Yeah,
Yo,
but also we'd have had the toughness. We'd have had that camaraderie because that don't change. And like everybody say, when Harbaugh left, everybody else left. But Sharon Moore was telling us We still gonna be the same, and we gonna smash, and we gonna smash, and we all join in. Like, okay, let's see it. And then by the first game, okay, hold on, we been lied to, we been bamboozled, and that's what it was.
Yo, what you got, Frank and Dom?
Yeah. Hey, what's up, man? I just want to say I appreciate everybody on the panel, man. Salute to y'all.
Go blue,
Maniac.
baby.
I
Go
like, I
blue.
like
Go
you.
blue.
Blue.
I'm just here for my therapy, man. But for Johnny, for real, seriously. But for Johnny, I remember you saying yesterday on your post game, man. You were saying because when I saw the score, it was 31-17, and you were saying something about Oregon being petty, like the coach was being petty about running the score, or if he ain't have to do it or something like that. What you meaning by that? Like, what is it? Was it possible they could have just let the time run out or something? Because I didn't see the ending of the game.
Yeah, most of us tuned out after they got down there, and I was walking back and forth from the kitchen, and then I looked back like, oh, I seen him before. I said about 2-3 plays before. I said, oh, he's gonna try to score. That's what he's trying to do. And you know, you don't have to do that. I mean, you can do it if you want to. And that's everybody's opinion. Everybody got a different opinion. The real football thing is if you don't want them to score, we'll stop it. There's also Bush League. Take a knee. You done won the game. Like, let's be real. You done won the game. You trying to prove something. We're the new guy in town. Yep. And that's what you look like, the new kid in town. Yep. The new kid in town. And I'm waiting for y'all. I'm waiting for them to get their head knocked in.
It's gonna happen. And like I said, I'm gonna keep around my own court first. Right. I'm gonna talk about that first, and then you were saying something about I think coming to the game, Michigan their mindset wasn't there to beat them. I don't think they thought they could beat them. I actually did, but once I found out that Hill and Johnson was gonna be, I'm defensively, you know what I'm saying? Defensively, I was just like, I don't know, And then our offense is already what it is. So I just didn't. I had good feelings about it, but I just think their mindset was like, it's Oregon, we're not going to win. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
that's how they called the game. That's how they called it.
Make them believe. You know what I'm saying? When your team knows they're a big underdog, it's about the coaching staff to instill belief in them, so then they can go out there and execute with confidence on offense and defense, which we haven't seen that for a full game. So,
yeah, right. And another thing I just wanted to hit on: did anybody watch the Sucker game yesterday?
We was all watching, hoping they was losing.
Ohio State, anybody?
Yeah. Look, we had to watch the party.
Was it just me? Was it? Yeah, I saw that too. But was it just me, or did it seem like them refs was just calling the game for them? Because the one dude caught the ball. I'm talking about the dude caught the ball. It was a catch, and then dude made him fumble, and then they called it an incomplete pass. Ain't no way that was an incomplete pass. He caught the ball in turn. So I'm just like, they were calling the game, but it's like they don't want them to lose because they paid all that money to get them players. I just don't get it, man. And then Franklin, on top of that, I'm ranting a little bit, but Franklin, he needs to go, dog. I mean, 1-10, he needs to go. Ain't no way you lose that game every year. It's like you drop the ball every year you play them, and they could have beat them. I was pissed about that game for real. I know our game was gonna be what it's gonna be, but that game right there, I just thought the ref was calling the game. So
that was definitely a, it's tough, right? Because it could have gone either way, right? And what my beef though is more so I see there, and this is not the reason Penn State lost, because just James Franklin and his staff, forget about it. They love us. The OSU secondary is lovers. They hold a lot. They get away with so much of it. That's what really boggles my mind. And it's like, yo, but why is it that they get away with this so much? And again, it is what it is. Penn State still, with that being said, had their opportunities and they blew it. So I'm not going to blame the refs that that's the reason Penn State lost. Nah, Ohio State beat them, but there was some questionable causes. Like, yo, just call it both ways, bro. That's it. Because sometimes it's just obvious. And I tell you, those Iggy and Burke, once they play against elite receivers, bro, it's gonna be ugly for them. You already saw it. They only played against one elite receiving corps against Oregon. We saw how that went. I'm not gonna call Indiana's receiving corps elite. They offense are playing like an elite unit, right? Like an elite unit. I'm not gonna call their receivers elite receivers. So I'm interested just to see Indiana's offense against Ohio State's defense. Ohio State's gonna beat them. But I just want to see how Indiana looks. How can if they can move the ball against Ohio State in 2 weeks?
To piggyback off of what you were saying. Oh, go ahead.
My
Go
bad,
ahead.
Marcus.
No, y'all go.
Oh, Dom, my brother.
Appreciate that.
Did you say for me to go, Johnny?
Yeah. What you got?
Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Thank you for having me. I'm not going to harp on many things that we've all talked about here. We've talked about a lot this year, and we all see the problems with the team. What's disturbing to me is that the coaches in Sharon aren't doing a damn thing to fix it.
Yep.
That's what's really concerning to me. This isn't like the second or third week of the year. And someone said it earlier about Moore during the Texas game, just kind of like looking shell-shocked. Like, I really hope it doesn't happen. But if he gets humiliated by Ohio State, he'll have a long winter. And during that winter, hopefully this persona, because I want to see Coach Moore succeed. I think he's genuinely a good human being, and he needs to get rid of this I want to be everybody's friend, I want everybody to like me mentality. Because it's business, it's big business. And what was really catastrophic to me, given all the losses, and Maniac can agree, I always go back to Ben Herbert. If he would have still been there, at least the team would have been physically and mentally tough, which is really absent this year.
That's a fact.
And that, I said it before, the only thing that's been consistent is the inconsistency. But we all see this, guys. We're not getting paid $5 million, $3 million. They have to be hearing the chatter from boosters, people who pay their salaries, yet they're doing nothing about it. I mean, if anything, Coach Moore I would have liked to seen him do this year. It's like, Kirk, the plays just aren't working. Okay. What we're going to do in the next game, I'm going to write down the plays that I would call. You call the game. And then after the game, we're going to get together and we're going to compare apples to apples.
Did you say that to us before? I heard somebody else say that.
I may have said that to you before. I've just said that in the past. It's it's kind of a useful mechanism to educate and correct somebody without just ripping away the playbook and humiliating that person. That would have been a good opportunity to teach, but also I think it would have, what Moore really needs right now, how can I put this? A manager of mine told me a long time ago, when I step into a new job, a new position, and I'm an authority figure, the first thing I do is I take a look at the herd and I figure which one is going to get cut from the team. And I know who I'm going to replace that person with before I cut them. And then I cut that person. I go through the interview process and all that. Then ultimately, I put the person in there who I knew I wanted to have in there from the get-go. And what happens is when I step in and I fire somebody, the rest of the herd, the ears go up and everybody knows that I'm serious. And that changes the mentality of everybody around. So I get that respect that people are going to do what I ask them to do. I think Moore is just a little too forgiving. And I think he'll grow out of that. Unfortunately for him, I just hope, and thank you for the time, guys, I just hope it's not the harshness of getting humiliated, because if Ryan Day has the opportunity, he will hang his 100.
Absolutely.
And then you look at Tyler and the rest of these goofy Ohio State people thumping their chest, they haven't beaten Michigan in 1,800 days. It's got to be close to 1,800 days now. Plus, they could call Connor Stallions and cheating and this and that. Nothing of that has to do with us running the ball for over 750 yards in the last 3 games against Ohio State. And I'm going to close on this. That's what's missing this season, is the commitment to the run, and that was due to an ineffective line. Sharon knew that going in. And anything, it's like after the bye week, did you guys do any work with the offensive line?
To
Because
the passing
that's
game.
what we
No,
need.
no, no. Passing game.
You
Passing
know,
game.
that's what we need. You run the ball, it's simple math. You got 40 seconds, you run the ball, you get 3 yards, 4 yards, another 3 yards, first down. The clock burns 2 minutes, and the other team's offense is on the sideline. That's what's been effective for Harbaugh. It's been effective in many programs. And do we really want to change the dynamics of the team like Rich Rod did just to get Bryce Underwood? Or do we want to have a system in place that
Man.
works? And running the ball at will historically has been effective for quality Michigan teams. And that worked. Okay, let's try something else. This inconsistency has been an embarrassment. And thank you so much for allowing me to speak that.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get out my brain. You got to get out of my brain because I felt like you was talking for me at points. I agree wholeheartedly.
No, I'm spitting facts. That was fact. That was facts. That was a TED talk right there.
Yeah, man. You cook.
Mm-hmm.
Just love the school. It's just painful to see this. It's really painful, and for me, it's triggering because I'm 57. I go back to Rich Rod and Hoke and this stubbornness not to make adjustments. It's like, it just it's triggering. But if some way somehow we could win against Ohio State, that's going to shut the trolls up for a long time because we ain't supposed to win that game. And by the way, fellas, we've won some big ones of late. 1, 2, 2, 3. How many of those matchups have we won the past couple years?
Yeah, all of them. Listen, look, this is what I'll say. I mean, I've come on here on your guys' show and said what I had to say about Ohio State. Look, man, let's call it like it is. You know, they having a good season, but realistically, not even me being a Michigan fan, what is it that Ohio State really could gloat about in the last 5 years? I'm just being realistic. Maybe you guys could find something. I'm just being real. Clemson,
nothing.
or beating,
Clemson game.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't get it. Like, these guys are acting like what we going through this year, we've been going through for the last 5 years. Like, bro, you didn't see what we just did to y'all 3 years in a row. You didn't see the success we had. Ohio State's never went to 3 straight playoffs. Yeah, they have more playoff appearances than Michigan, but they never, with those tough elite teams, them 8-star quarterbacks and them 9-star receivers, they couldn't do it. That just tells you that this team is known for underachieving. Yes. And those are the facts. This is not hate. It's the facts. I don't know why.
What, though, Maniac? You know what? It wouldn't be like that if it wasn't so bad on our side. Like if we were headed for 8-4 or 7-3, or not 7-3, 9-3. You know what I mean? Like something like that feels competitive. But like we're fighting for bowl eligibility, and they've had one of those type of seasons in the last 30 years. So like, while I want to fight for us, but we're not representing very well right now. So like, we got to take some of this shit. Like we have to, even if it's unfounded.
And I get it, Marcus. I'm cool with it. I'm not mad. You know, Garrison came on the show yesterday. He was, and it's fine. I'm okay with that. That comes with it. I'm not mad. I'm cool with some Ohio State fans. We be going at it, but I'm just speaking realistically. Yes. When you're talking about Ohio State, they've been, if not the number one program, like in the last 40 years consistently, just winning percentage, a lot of stuff. But What have they done with that?
Oh,
In a
nothing.
10-year
Not a lot.
span,
Not a lot.
Alabama has done more. In the last 7 years alone, Clemson has done more. Georgia. So this is what I'm saying. Yes, you have all that, but doesn't the Ohio State fan base yells one thing, Marcus? We play for national
Natty.
championships.
Oh, now that I will get, because I'm here in Columbus, so
Yeah.
I'll get on that train with you.
See?
It was always, even when we beat them in 2021, it was, oh, that's all, a Big Ten championship. Go win a natty. What are you guys talking about? You beat us one time in 20 years. Go win a national championship. All of a sudden, we win the natty in 2023, and they start talking, oh, we got to win the Big Ten. We got to beat Michigan. Whoa. What happened to all that win a natty or it don't matter talk? What is all of that? Because if we really line it up, like you said, over the last 30 years, you've got just as many national championship wins for Ohio State as you do for Michigan. And so for all the blowharding, for all of the, our recruits, our NFL draft picks, the people that are in the NFL get paid so much more. We have all-time head coaches. You have 2 national championships over the last 30. We have 2. It just sounds like you spent it and worked a whole lot more.
You know, Marcus, you live in Columbus. I lived there for 20 years. If you get an opportunity, you might want to go watch Mays Madman's live last night. I exploded. I was a little ashamed of myself this morning, but I really exploded on this Ohio State stuff because I live in the city. Marcus, you'll probably agree with me. The whole mentality of that town, it's due to desire, a really deep desire for national recognition in conjunction with not having pro sports. And I told some goof, like, don't even talk to me about Blue Jackets hockey.
Listen to me, man.
Nobody cares.
Now you're talking to a Columbus native here, right? So through and through. Went to Beechcroft High School, left for college, but obviously came back, raised my family here. There is a concerted effort by the older crowd. Well, first, let me address what you said about the national recognition thing. Columbus was like an old farm town 40 years ago, right? It's nothing but farmland. They've built up a very kind of vibrant it
is. It's a great city.
Industry, or financial industry, technology, the medical systems here. Everything's kind of blowing up.
Yes.
So now they are trying to align themselves with more metropolitan areas, a New York, a Chicago. They want to be one of the new tech cities, right? So yeah, they do. They, for the life of me, will not just take a step of any other modern big city in the country and get a pro team.
Yeah. It's like go by the Bengals, go by the Browns. I mean, the whole thing for Columbus forever with the NFL was it's too close proximity with Pittsburgh and Cleveland and Cincinnati. And that's not the case. It is a great place to raise a family. But I just tell you, it's just off the charts. And I mentioned it on Mays' show that you go into the office on Monday after an Ohio State loss, you have a bunch of babies in the office place. But it's if they have the opportunity, they will humiliate Michigan.
Yeah, they will. Yes, they will.
Yeah, Johnny, you thought Dan Lannon, what he did was bad? If it's 66-10 Ohio State and they on the 50, he might have David Brown throw a bomb to Jeremiah Smith for 5 seconds. Listen, that's
expected. That's expected.
Yeah. No, I get it. But this is why Michigan, listen, at the end of the day, it's true, man. Regardless, this is a bad season for us. This is unacceptable. Regardless, we get it. Sharon Moore had a short time of period. Doesn't matter. You're held to a standard now. This is still unacceptable. We know that Washington, Illinois game, come on, guys. Those should have been wins. I don't care. Even with this team, right? Even it's bad, we should have won. But that's not the case. So at the end of the day, we got to live what we got to live with. Let the other people gloat, whether it be the state fans, whether it be Ohio State, whoever. But I know one thing is for certain. Don, you said it early in the season. Hey, at least we got a natty, right? So we got Ohio State still hangs on to that. It was only 10 years ago. Only 10 years ago. Okay.
10 years. Sounds like a poverty program to me.
No, don't you dare speak like, because Ohio State Ohio State, don't get me wrong, man. It's an elite program. Like I said, I'm not a hater. I'm a realist. I give them their credit, man. They're a good program, constantly pumping out talent, elite talent. This is why I say what I say about them, because Georgia does it, Alabama does it, and when Clemson was doing it, what all those three teams had in common, fellas, they were winning national championships. They might have lost one or two, but they were winning. Ohio State has only one playoff win since winning their last natty. And look at them teams they had in the last 10 years alone. So come on, let's not sit here and act like just because we having a bad season that y'all could know. You guys should at least have minimum 2 natties since their last natty. Honestly.
Are the Buckeyes the Dallas Cowboys of college football?
Absolutely.
No.
No.
Well, maybe nowadays because the Cowboys ain't winning Super Bowl rings anymore. But my question to you, gentlemen, all three of you, the talent on the team. We've harped on the offensive line and we've harped on the quarterback play. And I said the Maniac in Mays, if we could take Orgy and Warren and merge them into one human being, we'd have one hell of a quarterback. I think the team, regardless of those two takes, I'm disappointed because we have more talent. The talent that we have is not playing up to the level that I expected. Would you agree with that? I mean, I'm not expecting Team 144 level, but I expected a little better than what we're seeing in terms of effort, discipline, open field tackling.
They look poorly coached. On all three phases, they look poorly coached.
Yeah.
That's hard to accept.
The gist of it. Yeah, the talent is there. We know what the blue chip percentage is. They're just not being coached well.
And y'all talking about Ohio State run up the score? Better be worried. We better be worried about Indiana. I'm trying. Yeah. We better be worried about them for what they doing, because them boys, that system that he has them running, the belief, and you talking about somebody with a chip on their shoulder.
I just don't like people calling for Moore to get fired.
No.
And I'm going to say it's the truth. Any African American male that's calling for the first African male head coach at the University of Michigan in 145 years to be terminated after left with empty cupboards by Ward Manuel and Jim Harbaugh should be ashamed of themselves. I think Moore deserves a few years. And I said it early on, guys. I hate to beat a dead horse, but I think in the off season, without all the tornado of things that was going on, I really think Moore is going to have some time to digest and examine everything in himself. And I think I would be shocked if we didn't see appropriate changes in coordinators and such next year. And I just hope it goes that way. I really want to see him have success at Michigan.
Yeah. And I think go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, yes, he should probably get more than a year. I think what you said about, if you're an African American and you want the first African American coach at Michigan fired after 1 year, you should be embarrassed. I think that also a little bit of that is probably why it's even a question, right? Like, it's one thing if you're the Michigan's prodigal son, the folklore hero from the 80s, the quarterback in NFL for a number of years, Super Bowl coaching head coach. It's one thing if you have that type of runway with the old guard in Michigan.
That's a good
as
point.
much as they love Sharon Moore, I'm sure some people do in the halls of Schembechler and administrative halls in Michigan. It is not that. He does not have that type of tie. He's much closer to that at Norman in Oklahoma than he ever will be here at Michigan. So he has to realize that, and whatever room they give him going forward, he has to maximize it. You cannot slow play this. You can't keep your friends close at this point. You just can't. So if he doesn't show, like you said, that he's going to make some drastic changes on the coaching staff with the coordinators, offense and special teams first. Like it's not even really debatable at this point. If he wants to rock with Wink because his buyout is too big, he's the highest paid defensive coordinator in college football. At least fiscally, that makes sense to me. But like offense and special teams is kind of like a non-starter. If Campbell wants to stay on the staff, I think quarterback coach is probably a more adequate position for him. He's a great recruiter. And he can continue to add to his play calling repertoire behind a more seasoned play caller. But JB Brown, I believe it is. I don't know how he comes back. I don't know how he comes back. I don't like calling for people's jobs, but if he's serious about making those changes, like you said, those are where it's going to show first.
Yeah, it's like I said, we have some talented kids on the team, and just to underperform, and you watch Maniac said it. I'll go to the SC game. First half was like, oh, Michigan football's back, and then the second half.
Yeah. We're gonna do that. We're gonna go to the steady to my.
Yep. So anyway, gentlemen, thank you very much for the time and allowing me to speak.
Sure,
and let's just put some prayers up to God above that some way, somehow, we could come out with a win on the 30th. It's happened before. One thing that's being discounted is pressure. And Ryan Day is under immense amount of pressure. 20 million, whatever it was a lot of money for the way that team's playing. They could have got beaten Happy Valley.
Yeah.
And, if Howard, twists an ankle or something, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But if they get something that puts a little bit of a damper on their quarterback play, they're in trouble, big trouble. So thank you very much, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Always a pleasure, Dom. Go Blue.
That was Dom and Maniac. Dom is usually on the with Maze Madman. And
Okay.
Dom got that knowledge, and he's older, so he's seen more football than us. You know what I'm saying? So I like the takes that he brings. You know what I'm saying?
It made me feel good that he had the kind of perspective that I had on the offense over with. Make me know I'm not crazy. And like when I hear older football heads kind of give that knowledge like that, it reaffirms what I've already been thinking. So that was a good one. That was a good session for sure.
Gotcha. Let me read this super chat.
So
let me see. Appreciate the $9.99 super chat. Ron Tarvey says, throw the records out on November 3rd. And Mr. Don, put some respect on Woodrow Hayes. He was wrong, but that doesn't discredit his legacy or the man he was. Soft nowadays. Appreciate that. Chips with dip. But with Moore and the coaching, to me, it's just you gotta put your nuts on the table.
You have to, man.
I
don't want to see him lose his job, man. I really don't.
And just like you said, I don't want to see you lose your job, and that's why, like, just something so simple as I would have came up to Dan Lanning like, "Oh, you running it up?" That's just so my players know I got your back. Well, I'm gonna let him know I don't like it, and if I'm still here, I'm coming for you. You better hope we ain't never better than you. You know what I'm saying? Because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen you really do it on the coaches. I haven't seen it to the players. I haven't really seen it. The only time I've seen more with some fire was that fourth down stop we got against Illinois. I think he was jumping up, hitting Wink.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But I need to see that fire when things go bad. You know what I'm saying? Not a emotional response like that, like the Loveland drop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's too emotional, bro.
Oh my God. I was like, there is no way you think you about to win this challenge. And it happened right in front of the Michigan sideline too. So I know everybody's seen that ball go flying after he hit the ground. Now, if you thought that they was going to go in there and change the rule for a catch to match what it actually should be, then you naive as hell. But the way that they call it, if he hit that ground and that ball go flying this way, they're going to call it a drop. They have been calling it that way for years. That is the way that they call it. Why would you waste a timeout trying to challenge that?
He got emotional.
Yeah,
he got emotional like a fan. That's a fan. That's a fan take, really. Tyler, I don't know. So, Michigan fans, I got a question for you. Be honest. How confident are you for the game on November 30th? I'm pretty confident. Y'all ain't showing me.
Let me talk about this game a little bit about Ohio State because
I'm more worried. I'm gonna just say something real quick. I'm more worried about Indiana than y'all right now. Indiana's system on offense looks like it's clicking. Yours has not. We just saw you struggle with Penn State. Penn State has a pretty good defense. There's no shade in that. But you struggled.
Gave y'all that game. Like they gave it.
Nebraska held y'all down. You know what I'm saying? So that gives me hope. You're not scoring 35 and 40 consistently anymore.
That's what I was trying to figure out. Like everybody's like, oh, they're gonna try to hang 60. They're gonna try to do they have the capacity to score 60 points? Like versus a Power 5 team, do they have the capacity to score that much? A good one. Well, I don't even know how good we are. But in any case, there's a lot of questions on the Ohio State side of the ball, right? In a potential matchup with them. Number one being the offensive line. It was one of the most frustrating calls to watch Joel Klatt on the Penn State Ohio State side because it was nauseating at sometimes. Donovan Jackson kicks out the left tackle. Is he getting away with a little bit of a hold? Sure, but he's really holding his own. Which one is it, Joel? Is he holding every time you see him or getting blown past, or is he holding his own? Because you excuse the man holding like 3 times in the middle of you trying to praise him for giving a good block. That's just one spot, right? We've got the left guard position, which is new now. We had Carson Hinsman, last year's center, coming in playing left guard next to Donovan Jackson. That's a question mark, right? And even though Abdul Carter was able to make some plays versus Donovan Jackson, he got held a lot. That is a guy playing his third position in the last 4 years, right? Always been a good pass rusher. But like, if Abdul Carter is getting off like that, how do you think Josiah Stewart's going to do? Now, Will Howard is mobile, but he's nowhere near as shifty as Dylan Gabriel. So
that little fucker.
He's shifty as hell. But how do you think Josiah Stewart is going to do versus Donovan Jackson when a 220-pound Abdul Carter, 230-pound Abdul Carter was working him all game? If they would actually have thrown a flag for the amount of holding, Donovan Jackson probably would have been called for just as many penalties as Davison Igbinosun. So I don't believe the offensive line is proven. Now, most disappointing part to me is that Tom Allen and Franklin didn't find a way to completely stop the run in the second half because they stifled it in the first half. They couldn't really run the ball. Right? And as the game kept going on, they put Travion in a little bit more and it was opening some stuff up. But they were still in these situations where third and short were passing the ball. They just so happened to get a lucky catch by the tight end that can't catch, Jelani Thurman. He had to catch that thing 4 times and they still couldn't poke it free. Like there was
me with all them.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Bobbling it for 10 yards. Penn State is hilarious.
Don't tell me that this offensive line performance y'all seen gives you hope for the rest of the season, even if it's just the rest of the regular season. Because I know it don't give you hope for going to play teams in the playoff. No, who am I repping? What you expected? Love? You expected love? There are questions still there. And then even still, it may not be us, but that secondary. Oh boy.
I love it. All right, Bilal. Now I got to cook.
You guys are so 10 points. Or they had a drive that stalled out. They got a field goal, and then they picked you off a pick 7 or pick 6.
Yeah, that's not spotting someone.
You didn't spot them shit.
That's them taking 10 points from you. He took Will Howard's cookies once, and then he took them again on the sideline. Give me that.
Again, another abysmal call. I'm listening to them talking about how well Will Howard is playing. Yeah, maybe but completion percentage wise, yes, he's there. but your man's twice now. The only reason why y'all were still in a game versus a team that didn't score an offensive touchdown is because Will Howard threw a pick six and he fumbled the ball for a turnover for a touchback. That is the only reason why you were still in the game with the team that didn't score on offense.
He's a
touchdown on offense.
He's a slightly better. He's a Shea Patterson. He's a better Shea Patterson, but he's got his level of bonehead is almost with Shea. I'm gonna keep it real. It is. You know, Shea would always get sacked and fumbled, throw an interception. He that level of bonehead, bro. I know Garrison didn't like it when I said it about a month ago.
He plays well with in between mistakes. So like, you know, the mistake is coming. It's like every couple throw, every 10, 15 throws, something is coming. But he plays well in between those that keeps him competitive.
Yeah, so that's why I say he's a better Shea.
Yeah, I don't know where this idea that y'all gonna come out here and score 100 points versus is coming from. I don't get that. That I don't understand. I know we're at least as good as Nebraska on defense.
You barely beat Nebraska. I don't know why y'all act like y'all just been dominating. Y'all ain't been dominating like that. You've been walking in sand since that Oregon. Like, I think y'all still wake up in the middle of the night like, don't slide. Yeah. You've been having nightmares since then. Because I'm on y'all channels. See, people wonder, well, Johnny's always in here because I want to see what y'all saying. I want to see y'all talk about each other. I want to see you talk about your quarterback. You want Ryan Day to get fired. You don't like Chip Kelly. I see it all. I'm just like, ooh, oh, you don't like him too? Oh, y'all talking about Denzel? Oh, wow. He was better than Will Johnson a while ago.
They do that. They do that very often where it's like, they'll tell us, oh, y'all suck. We got all these players, da. Oh, but when they talking amongst themselves, fire the offensive line coach, fire, get him out of here. Fire Larry Johnson. Do you know Larry Johnson is the highest rated recruiter in the entire conference? They want his ass gone yesterday. They can't get Larry Johnson out of the house fast enough. Same thing with Tony Alford. Tony Alford was one of the best recruiters they had. And they want him gone. Now, what's interesting is that the guy who coaches DBs at Ohio State, great recruiter, and your boy Tim Walton, but look at the product on the field. Denzel Burke coming into this season was a bona fide first round pick. He was one of them guys. Oh, well, we supposed to, you know, he came back. He could have been a first round pick. He came back to beat Michigan and win a national championship. It seemed like he came back to get drafted in the third round because that's what's gonna happen. That first round drafts that gone, fluttering. Same thing with JT. I think you've given NFL teams a whole nother year to see that maybe that, you know, late second round, early third round is gonna be adequate, because how much are you really gonna pay? You're gonna pay a guy $100 million to get 4 sacks a season? From the edge position, from the DN position. So again, you guys are the more talented team. You're the better team this year. Can't take that away from them, record-wise and otherwise. There's enough weaknesses to make this game competitive. We just made it competitive with the number 1 team in the country. I think we can make it competitive with y'all.
Yeah, I mean, most OSU fans thought Oregon was going to score 60 on us.
Yeah, and we were right close to holding them under their average. We were right there.
Yeah. Got your O-line looking better? Maybe. I guess. Hey, I guess.
It's going to be a battle either way. And like Dom said, there's a mental aspect to this. Ain't nobody over there done this. Right? The last time I seen Will Howard playing in a big time, well, no, he actually they made that. They made that. I was thinking about the TCU game 2 years ago. But was that Will Howard that was playing?
That was Duggan.
That was Duggan was on TCU. Thinking about Kansas State's quarterback. I didn't know if they had replaced him by now if he was out. But
Gotcha.
even let's sit Howard aside. Let's say Howard's up for the task and he's going to play well. The rest of the guys on that team that need this game, Travion, Emeka, Davidson, Denzel Burke, JT, Sawyer. Last shot. You haven't done it yet, and things aren't perfect. They are not. I don't think as a team they are peaking the way that we were peaking last year. That's just that's an opinion. Now they can prove me wrong, obviously, in the last 4 weeks and go on and make a run in the playoffs. They're very capable of doing it. Do I think that's where we're headed? I can't say that for sure. So there's enough opportunity for us to get in there and make it a game. It's just, are we going to take advantage of it? Now I'm talking back to us as fans on our side of shit. Or given all that I just said about Ohio State, are we going to game plan well enough for any of that to matter?
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing with Michigan every game.
Yeah.
You know, you've got a chance, but are you going to have the guys ready? Are you going to be able to call a good enough game? You know, will the players be able to execute? Because we don't get consistent good play calls on offense or defense. So when we do get them, the player has to execute. Boy, you might not ever get another chance.
Perfect.
You done got wide open, boy. You better catch it. If they call the play and it's perfectly blocked and you went the wrong way, boy, you made a big mistake for yourself. I'm sorry, you know, and that's just what it is. If you have the chance to get a sack, Wink actually calls the good blitz at the right time, and you could have got the sack, but a quarterback made you miss. I mean, besides Josiah Stewart, he's getting his, but everybody else, you made a big mistake. Hey, you know,
I think he hit Mason one of them times too. Hit Mason with a move.
Man, that little pipsqueak. But Ron Tarver.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Go ahead, talk about it.
Can we be honest? Can y'all talk about the investigation? Because it's not over. Honest opinion. This is the thing, and this is why people aren't talking about it, except certain people still want to talk about it. It's like Minister Sports Chat. They don't. What are we talking about?
Buckeye Scoop? People who have a vested interest in something coming of it. And if you're gonna keep paying money for them scoops, then you might as well just cut them a check for the year.
Exactly. But the time to response is the week of the game. That's just the time Michigan to respond. That's all that is. That's not a hammer. So people thinking, oh, November 30th, the hammer's going to come down with the NCAA. It's not. That's just Michigan responding to whatever's been going on.
To the allegations.
There's still going to be more litigation with it. You get what I'm saying? So if you're thinking, oh, it's going to happen at the end of November, it's not. So there's really nothing to talk about for the most part.
Yeah, for Ohio State fans that are still interested in this, like, what do you get from it? I want to know what we get, because honestly, the more information that comes out about sign stealing in college football since all of this stuff broke, the more laughable it really becomes. You know, the fact that Michigan was actually one of the last teams to actually pick up on the fact that teams throughout the conference were trading each other's signals. Like, it is absolutely laughable for people of that fan base, especially. Remember, I grew up here in Columbus, so I know where some of the skeletons is buried. You know what I mean? Went to school with some guys. Y'all don't want me on here talking. But in any case, that program is throwing rocks about sign stealing, something that was initiated in this conference by all the members, probably except for Michigan State, Iowa, Northwestern, and Michigan for a number of years until we got our own sign stealer. That you were already doing this. You were already sending game plans. You were already sending practice film. You were already sending game plans, actual playbook game plans. Shout out to Greg Madison. So like on the moral side of it, let it go. Let it go, because you're not interested in actually digging into where all of it leads anyways. You notice that we were talking player safety last year about Michigan having everybody signs. That's why it was so dangerous. And yet, no one found any interest in investigating any other programs in the Big Ten to see if something similar was going on, to see if anyone else was obtaining practice footage or signs illegally. No one wanted to investigate it. The buck stopped at Michigan for some reason, who again only started doing this a few years ago. But in terms of what you were saying, in terms of the timeline, you're absolutely right. Like nothing in 2024 is going to happen as a result of the sign stealing scandal. Nothing. We have until the 30th of November to respond back to them. And then the NCAA goes back and tries to form their final draft. Exactly. And even after that, once we get the final letter from them, then we go into court. Then we're going to court. Like none of this is going to happen in enough time to make it relevant for you. It may be 2026 before anything is decided. And at that point, they ain't giving no games back. They're not giving you a Ohio State Michigan loss. It's never going to happen. Bro. Let that ship sail. And anybody who's still peddling that to you is trying to get money from you. I'm talking to Ohio State fans right now. If you are still paying a platform to tell you what is going to happen with the Michigan Wolverines in regards to the sign stealing scandal, you are worse than the incels. You worse than the people that follow Fresh and Fit. You're never going to get those wins back. It's not happening. So let it go. If you think that they're going to rewrite history for you to make us unspank that ass for the last 3 years, fam, I got a beach house in Idaho I want to sell you.
Oh, what do you think was going to happen? I don't know. Probably lose some scholarships and
maybe a show called for Sharon Moore still in the half. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? By the time, who knows who's actually going to be left by the time it actually gets the actual punishment. Who knows? None of these dudes might be at Michigan by then. We don't know. Sharon Moore, all of them, whoever. None of
and they've already told you, the NCAA has over and over again, that they're not into punishing current players for things that happened in years past. So again, the idea that we're getting a bowl ban, a postseason ban, they're not going to do that. The most you're getting is fines and show causes. That's the most you're going to. So if that's what you're waiting on, then I can just go ahead and spoil it for you. That's what's coming. A lot of fines, scholarship reductions, and show cause probably for Sharon Moore.
Bro, John Jones, shut up, man. You need to shut up, boy. Look, but me and Posh, we see each other on so many different podcasts. You know what I'm saying? I see Asian Posh all day in Michigan and Ohio State podcasts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we jump from one to another one, just all day, because that's all I do. I drive around at work and watch podcasts, and troll Ohio State fans. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is, bro.
Yep.
It just so happens that we're both extremely attractive. That's just a coincidence, bro. So there it is with that. Sure. Posh is good people. You know what I'm saying? She's always respectful. What else? What else we got? Yeah, that's about it. I think.
I think you already got the super chats.
Well, you got anything else?
Man, that's pretty much it for me, man. I just want to see for the rest of the season. I think is pretty much is what it is. I pray for bowl eligibility. Hopefully, we get there so we can take a nice long break from this season and try to start on the off season. One of the I guess a parting thought I'm gonna leave us with. I didn't get a chance to say it while we were discussing on the panel, but one of the most shocking things that came out of Sharon's mouth yesterday after the pressure, somebody asked him about the running game. How much? What was the magic number? What did you want to hit in terms of running game? Where did you want to be? Obviously, it was a little disappointing. You were just under 100 yards. Where did you want to be? Sharon responds, there is no magic number. We want to run the ball or we want to pass it. Whatever we have to do to win, that's what we do. There is no magic number. I want to leave. Yeah, that's what he said. I'm gonna leave the chat with this. Jim Harbaugh has lost one game in his collegiate coaching career. One game when he has got over 100 yards rushing. How do you coach with the man for 6 years and you don't like that's not in your well, we'd like to get over 100 yards at least. That's all I wanted to hear. That's all I wanted to hear. Well, you try to stay north of 100, but we did what we did. There's no magic number, fam. The guy who taught you, there absolutely was a magic number. Like, share, subscribe here at Johnny Odin's page. Follow me at House Divided and Back of the Bus. We'll be going live here in about another 30, 35 minutes. You can head over to the channel, check me out if you ain't got nothing else to do. Johnny, appreciate you like always, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. But yeah, y'all, it is what it is this season. It is what it is this season. These coaches more, and a lot of us want to blame Kirk Campbell. We want to blame Wink, but at the end of the day, and this is just a fact, it's on Sharon Moore to do his job. It's on him to hire good coaches, good assistant coach, good coordinators, good assistant coaches, good staff, good strength and conditioning coaches. It's on him to get the guys on the team that are good. You know what I'm saying? That's going to develop players, So it's on him, and I hate the way Sharon looks. I hate the way he looks on the sideline. I hated the way he looked in his press conference. All like this. Or it was something like this. Bro, come on. Sit up there like a grown man. Sit up there like a grown man. Sitting up there like a little teenager or something. I don't like his mannerisms, bro. I'm not gonna lie. In that press conference, bro, sit up there like a grown man that a leader of men. I don't like a lot of the stuff I see from Sharon. I ain't gonna front. And I noticed I'm looking at a lot of stuff from him now. Stuff that I wouldn't really pay attention to. I'm looking at a lot of different stuff. And I'm not liking and now that I'm paying attention to all these little things, I'm not liking what I see. I ain't gonna front. I'm not liking it. What'd you say, man? Hey. Hey, Sharon is getting. Hey, I'm looking at all types of stuff because I'm trying to see what type of coach you are. You know what I'm saying? So we've noticed it for weeks, months, all season of how when it's going bad, he looks like he's in the sunken place in La La Land. Okay, we noticed that. No fire towards the coordinators when they do bad or good. No real fire for the assistant coaches or the players, good or bad. He's just kind of over there. Not much fire for the refs. You know what I'm saying? This last game, Dan Lanning, I would have let him have it. I bet. I'm gonna see you again, Bucko. Bet. I'm gonna see you again. You got it. I would have did that, whether you right or wrong, or you agree with it or not. I'm doing that for my team so they know I got their back. You know what I'm saying? Then I see him in the press conference with this fetal position kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, bro. Sit up there like a grown man, bro. Like, what are you doing? Rip Star, don't make me time you out. I'll time you out in here, boy. Hey, I time you out of here, Rip. Hey, make me get you out of here, brother. But yeah, I'm looking at all that type of stuff, because I'm trying to see what kind of head coach Sharon is. He's got to find his way. Ban, you see what happens. Please tell me what really. Please tell me what's gonna happen. Hey, you got me confused with somebody else, brother. You got me confused with somebody else, brother. You got me confused. But yeah, so I'm just not liking what I'm seeing, bro. The mannerisms, all that stuff from Sharon. It ain't good. I ain't gonna front. I cannot front. Exactly. Like his dog just died, bro. Like, I need to see some emotion, some fire, some confidence. He looks shook half the time over there. Like, he don't got confidence in what's going on. So how the player's supposed to have confidence? You know what I'm saying? I ain't even get into Sharon, to Kurt Campbell looking down after that bonehead fourth down call, looking down like he don't want to look at Davis Warren over here. Davis is talking to him or something. He looking down like he don't want to. You scared to look at him, bro? You scared to look at him after you did what you did? Like, come on, what are we doing? You scared to look at him after you was a bonehead? So it's just all around. We got dudes all around that look like they don't know what they're doing. It's just a problem. It's a problem. Yeah, I mean, Jim Harbaugh is Jim Harbaugh. We can have people that try to downplay Jim Harbaugh. The proof is in the pudding. Jim Harbaugh was a good or great NFL coach. That's debatable whether he was good or great, but we know he's good. You know what I'm saying? He rebuilds. Jim Harbaugh is a rebuilder. He rebuilds the foundations. 49ers, San Diego State, Stanford, Michigan. That's what he does. So you can see the difference. We definitely see the difference. Unapologetic one says, I grew up with alpha males and Sharon is not one of them. As a female, I love football, but I love the masculine energy about the game, not the weak energy more is giving off. That's a fact. You can see it. It exudes off the screen. I can see, and that's why I was saying, I could see it in the press conference, the way he was sitting all feminine to me, sitting all like this and all this. Like, bro, sit up there like a man and answer them questions. But he was up there looking like he wanted somebody to bring him a blanket, put him to bed, and I don't like that. And that's why I be knowing that's why I understand people faster, or it's because I look at things like that. I've been realized what this team was a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I've been realized it. So I'm trying to see what type of coach you are, bro. Do you have this job isn't a job for somebody that, is a nice guy. And, football coaches are a-holes for the most part. Or like she said, they're alphas. Basically, they're alphas. You know what I'm saying? Most alphas are a-holes though, right? So it seems like he just don't have that. He's not that. And honestly, I started noticing in the offseason, and this ain't to just kill him. These are just facts. I'm just saying them. You know what I'm saying? I noticed it in the offseason when he was, when he would get interviewed, he was so happy about everything. Bro, this ain't the time to be happy. This is the time to grind. This is This is grind season in the off season. This ain't no happy time for you. This is long hours we putting in that work to be great again. This ain't no happy-go-lucky time. And that bothered me. I'm like, why is this dude so happy? Like every time they spoke to him, it was like, we just won the national championship. That's fine for me to feel that way. Hey, I'm not at the facility supposed to get ready for the season. But for the coach, you got to move on, bro, and understand you have to instill your heart, your passion, what you want your team to be. You have to instill that in the offseason, and it ain't nothing to smile about. It ain't nothing to smile about because this is working. This is time to put in work. This is worked. This is time for work. That was the time. So it bothered me that he was so happy all the time. Most football coaches, they're not happy-go-lucky dudes. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something that I picked up on early, and it's been bothering me. Exactly. What up, Rivalry? You late. Don't come over here trying to get your little jokes in. You late. Now I'm tired. So don't come over here trying to get your late last minute jokes. Let's see. Michigan went from sugar to shit in 1 year due to coaching. Hey, I can't say you lying. Dot. And that's because you have to be. It's similar to your pops. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody grew up with a pops. I'm just gonna be keeping 100. Not everybody grew up with their pops. If you did, your pops when you was growing up, he was an a-hole to you. You didn't like him for the most part. If he was a stern disciplinarian, you didn't like him for the most part. But then when you reach about mid-20s, maybe 30s, so this depends on how life is to you. You realize your pops was that dude, and he was trying to keep you out of the streets, trying to keep you from making bad decisions, trying to instill work ethic into you. You realize it later on, like, man, Pops was that dude. You know what I'm saying? But so that's what a football coach is, basically. They just know football, but they give you the same type of discipline and life skills. They give you the same type of knowledge like a father would. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see a lot of football players that didn't have father figures follow their coach. My coach is like my pops. He was like another dad for me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. That's what it is. Hey. Most coaches are, and I think the best ones are. Tarver. It is not an avatar, sweethearts. Oh boy. Hey, hey, bro. I don't know who commented. Don't be coming at the women in the chat, bro. Like, let's not see a woman in here then try to talk about them. You know what I'm saying? Chill out. I don't know who did it, but chill. Appreciate the $4.99 super chat. You think if we have a good QB, we can get back to winning, or do you think it won't matter because of bad coaching? I think a good QB will help. I think a good QB always helps. You know what I'm saying? But you have to find the right coaches because it's not just about being better. It's about maximizing the talent you have. You know what I'm saying? If you look at a lot of, and this is no shade to Ohio State fans, this is just the quickest example that pops up in my head. if you look at underachieving with all that talent, you can look right at Ohio State. They have tons of talent, top 10 recruiting year after year, and they underachieve for the most part. Same with Penn State, I guess you could say. It's about having that talent and then having good and great coaching to maximize the talent. When you have great players and you don't win the conference, or you have a great team and you like, man, we got national championship dreams, and then you don't even get close, bro, that's the worst feeling. I can accept what's going on right now because it's just bad coaching. I can see it. You can see it a mile away. It's bad coaching. But let's say last year with the team we had, we don't even make the playoff. You know how disappointing that is? It's because of coaching. You know how disappointing that is? You know what I'm saying? Or similar to like the TCU loss. Because to me, that we got out-schemed. That's embarrassing. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? When you got the dogs, you got to have the coaching to maximize the dogs. Because you don't want to be, man, we got a great team, and then you looking like boo-boo half the time. Don't make the playoff or don't win the conference, losing to your rivals. You know what I'm saying? That's just I don't like that. You want to maximize all that stuff. Yeah. I'm trying to see who was talking that stuff. I'm gonna get him out of here, but I can't seem to find him. But yeah, leave the women alone in the chat whether it's Posh, because I had to talk to somebody a couple weeks ago when Posh was in here. You know what I'm saying? Leave them alone. Like, bro, that's that incel kind of weird stuff, bro. We talking football. They talking football. You worried about their avatar and stuff. Oh God. Is what a good win? Ivan, is what a good win? I missed some comments. I went back. Lack of offensive talent is the problem with the team. It's not how Coach Moore stands on the sideline. Nah, all that stuff matters, bro. I wish it wasn't so. I've noticed it in the press conference. I've noticed it how he doesn't how he doesn't react to half the time. All this stuff all this stuff matters, bro. I wish it didn't, but it does. All this stuff comes into your mentality. You're the figurehead of a program, and all of this is about your mentality as a man, because you're the leader of men. You're not the assistant coach. You're not the offensive line coach anymore. You that dude. You the top spot. So it does matter. And Sharon Moore is an offensive dude. So it don't matter. This is the thing, bro. Good coaching, whether you have the players or not, you can see good coaching. That's the thing. You can always see good coaching. Whether the players execute the play or not, you can see good coaching. On defense or offense, you can see it. It's tangible. You can watch a team. He's wide open. The quarterback misses him. He's wide open. The wide receiver drops it. You know what I'm saying? You can see good coaching. Whether the players execute the plays or they don't, you can still see that, okay, he cooking. He just don't got the players. Half the time we see he's not cooking. He's not cooking. You know what I'm saying? You can see it. But all of these things matter, bro, as a head coach. It matters. You know what I'm saying? It matters. You have to you have to exude that confidence in that you have your team's back. I'm just watching. Just watch Sharon Moore. Just watch him. Dot, I asked you what the question was. I keep missing it. I asked you what the question. I don't see where the question is. Oh, okay. Here it is. You said we don't win big games. Is this a dub against Penn State a big win? See, that's the thing. I said you don't win big games besides Penn State. This is the one y'all always win. Y'all, they can't beat y'all. This is the game every year y'all can count on to win. Penn State gonna be ranked kind of high. James Franklin, he can't beat y'all. He gonna find a way to lose. So when y'all beat them, it wasn't a surprise to me. To most Michigan fans, we were hoping you would lose, but we weren't surprised when you won. And when Penn State got up 10-0 and then they were instantly down 14-10, I said, James Franklin, yep, same old. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a surprise, bro. You know, that's the one game, big game. That's the one game, the big game I know y'all gonna win is that Penn State game. You know, because when they came out 10-0, they should have been looking like, ooh, barbecue chicken. But, and I said this for years about Ohio State against Michigan. You get up. Yeah, I'm hating in Garrison. Yeah, I'm hating good, boy. But I said this for years, Ohio State against Michigan. You get up, Michigan gets up, and Ohio State looking like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, bet. And then all of a sudden we're down 7 or 14 or something because we don't lose to you. We're not used to losing to you, and it ain't gonna be today. And that's the same mentality that Ohio State has with Penn State now. You know, so Ohio State got down 10-0, and it was like, oh, bet. All right. Hey, Penn State showed up today. All right, bet. You got our attention. And Penn State was on the ground like, oh God. Oh, they hitting back. Yeah, they hitting back, bro, because you're little brother to them right now. They got no respect for you. So you got up 10-0, and they was like, bet. They start stretching. Like, all right, woo. Y'all playing today. Yeah, let's go. You done bust my lip. Bet. Right hook, left hook. They down for the count. You know what I'm saying? So that's that little bro mentality, you know. And I spoke for years about Michigan having that little bro mentality with against Ohio State. You know, Harbaugh got us over the hump. You know, it changed, but it's not an easy thing to get over. You know, it's not an easy thing. And you can say the cheating, whatever, it don't matter right now. But it's not something easy to get over, that little brother mentality, you know, because once it starts going bad as the little brother, you just kind of collapse. You know what I'm saying? And as the big brother, it's just like you just be feeling yourself like you never feel like you're out of the game. Like, you can go up 21 and they still don't. We finna come back and beat these dudes. I ain't losing to him. Think I'm finna lose to you, scrub, little dude, little bro? You think I'm finna lose to you? Nah. You know, so that's their problem. That's Penn State problem. They probably need to get rid of James Franklin if I'm gonna be 100. They probably need to get rid of him. Because they wasting bad teams. They wasting good teams with a lot of talent. The Bucks may beat us this season, but the win will be like a 300-pound man fighting a 20-pound Tyler. They will win, but nothing to brag about. That's a fact. Yep, that's a fact. And I said this on a live or something not too long ago. James Franklin don't look this good, my brother. James Franklin don't look this good. Paul, don't come in here with this all you black guys look alike stuff. I know what you did right there. Don't come over here with that. You all you black fellas look alike. Don't come over here with that. I know what you did. I know. James Franklin ain't never looked this good, brother. Yeah, look like Peppers. I've got Peppers. I've got Method Man. I've got Ray J when I was younger. Somebody always want to compare me to a celebrity or something. What up, Garrett? Hey, this year this year we ain't little brother. We little dipshit. We that little dude that be outside all the time. This year we that little dude that be outside all the time. You don't know where he stayed, but he just be out there. When y'all be playing outside, he always show up, but nobody really knows where he lives and nothing like that. Oh yeah, that's just Michigan. He just show up when we be playing outside and stuff. He cool, but I don't really know where he stay. You know what I'm saying? We that right now. We that right now. That's just Michigan. Hey, for those of y'all that done watch Snowfall, this year we Franklin Saint right now. Hey, we Franklin right now. Right now we Franklin Saint. We was on top. We was kingpin, boy. I come in with my suit. This year we asking Leon for $20. Woo, my man. Hey, we done turned to Franklin, boy. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I don't like it. That's just what's going on right now. Well, we Franklin Saint, right? Hey, Jay Marion, we Franklin Saint right now. We was the kingpin. We was the man. Hey, you was the man. You know what I'm saying? I built this brick by brick. You know what I'm saying? They done tore it down like nothing. So, hey. That's what you gotta do, laugh at the haters, because when you know you handsome out here, you know you handsome. Yeah, I hate to tell you, brothers, but when you know you handsome, you know you handsome. The confidence is just there. Yeah. Some of us were blessed to be handsome, and some of us, hey, you gotta lead with your wallet, But yeah, we like Franklin this year. We like Franklin this year, We went from kingpin to an alcoholic, It is what it is. It is what it is, Hey, Michigan go blue 1, 2, 3, 4. If Nebraska can play with Ohio State, then Michigan can too. And that's what I always say. All I need is to see you struggle with somebody else similar. If I see you struggle against somebody else that's similar to us, that's all I need. That's all I need to see. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. So me being worried about Ohio State, of course they have more talent than us and better coaches, but we still got hope. Nebraska held y'all, especially with Matt Rule calling plays like he didn't even want to win the game. He was just happy to keep it close. He was just happy to he had chances to win, and he was just happy to. We almost beat Ohio State. That's cool, you know. I shouldn't even have put that up there. I don't want to see no politics. Let me just get that comment out of here because I hate talking to politics. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think it's about time to get off of here. I'm gonna do about, I guess, about 5-10 more minutes. We are down bad right now, no doubt, but I have a sneaking suspicion that we will be kingpins again real soon. Yes, sir. The Oregon backlash after the game from some fans was likely due to some Michigan podcast calling Oregon soft and finesse team. You know, and Garrison came on here saying, you talked about him. I don't remember ever calling Oregon soft. I always thought that we could possibly, even if we were good this year, that we could possibly lose to them. I don't remember calling them soft. I mean, I talk a lot, so I might have. I'm not, I be saying a lot. So I have so many takes, I forget some of them. So it's possibly I could have, but you know, it's always you got to stop them. But you know, watching what Jim Harbaugh did and watching how he didn't run it up on a lot of teams that he could have, you know, to me it's Bush League that you did that. But you're trying to be the new guy on the block. You're trying to finally win a championship for Oregon. So I do get it. You're trying to prove, we're the new guy is in the Big Ten. You know what I'm saying? You know, you want Ohio State to call you the team out West or that team out West, whatever. You know, it's a lot that you're trying to do. But to me, it's still Bush League. You know what I'm saying? You just setting it up. I guess that's how you make a rivalry. I guess if that's what he wanted to do, he did the right thing because, you know, if Sharon Moore is there, and even if it's a new coach, stuff like that, teams and schools don't forget. You know what I'm saying? So when the tables turn, and they will turn because that's how sports work, you know, it's gonna come back to bite you. And I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna get off of here. I'm tired of. I'm starting to not like Oregon fans more than Ohio State fans real fast. It's coming up fast. You know what I'm saying? It's coming real fast that I don't like them. You know, Ohio State, there's mutual respect with most Ohio State fans. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say it like Cameron when Cameron was talking about Mace when they was beefing. When they said they was beefing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's my man's. That's my guy. You know, I can talk about him. But I bet not hear nobody else talking about him. You know what I'm saying? And that's a mutual respect I have for us in Ohio State. But these Oregon dudes ain't got respect for nobody. They ain't got respect for nobody. And they ain't got no championships. I hate that it's come to this, but I really don't like them. I really don't like these dudes. I might, if they play again, my heart might just be rooting for Ohio State. Because I've gotten a real hatred for Oregon fans fast. And Dan Lanning. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to root for Ohio State, but if they were to play again, I feel like I'm going to want Ohio State to win. That's bad. That's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, you know. But they got an arrogant fan base that ain't won nothing. Lazy, good for nothing. Ain't done nothing. Ain't got no natties to in their trophy case. Trophy case full of conference championships and broken dreams and broken promises. That's all they got. You know? So it is what it is. Hey, but when it comes to this Ohio State, Michigan, hey, we can talk about each other, but don't let me hear you talking about them. Don't let me hear you talking about them, other fan bases. You know what I'm saying? It's becoming that way, you know, for me at least, I guess, you know. And with this new Big Ten, Pac-12, you know, these Pac-12 teams that it came in, it's becoming to where it's like the old Big Ten. We're rooting against the new Big Ten, Oregon, USC, Washington, UCLA. You know what I'm saying? It's becoming an in-conference rivalry. You know what I'm saying? Because best believe, if Oregon wins the conference, I will not be rooting for them. I don't care if they play the SEC, the ACC. I'm not rooting for them. No, I ain't rooting for them. Only thing I'm rooting for them to do is lose. And that's a fact. You know, I'm not rooting for them. I don't care if they rep the Big Ten or whatever. Yeah, I know you did, Dot. I know you did. Hey, I'm sorry. That's just me. But I got a page. I have a page and I have to see these Oregon comments. You know, I see the comments before y'all do, or you know, you might not even go through the comments. So I see these arrogant Oregon comments. I see them. I might delete it because it might be some, but I see so much trash talking from the Oregon fans that haven't done anything ever. What have you done? You've done nothing. Right? So that's where it's coming from. I see these Oregon fans in the comments and they talking that good stuff, arrogant, like they've ever won a natty. You've done nothing. Like, come on. And then I was shutting them up early. You know, I started the live with this. I was shutting them up because you got to get up real early to talk stuff with me with this college football. You better have your facts right and you better know what you're talking about or I'm going to eat you up. Pause. I know it's somebody going to be like, oh, you talking reckless. Pause. I'm too old for pauses. But, you know, I'm going to let you have it. You know, with this college football talk, I'm going to let you have it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of Oregon fans came in arrogant to the comments. They didn't say, oh, Michigan played a pretty good game or Michigan. They came in talking that stuff before the game, after the game, just talking. So I let them have it with you have no natties. What have y'all accomplished ever in history? You know what I'm saying? And then they wanted to get in their feelings. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. Why you got to talk stuff? Because that's what I do. And you came in talking. So it was nothing for me to let you have it. Matter of fact, it made my day. So that's what it is with the Oregon fans. And, you know, why I quickly really don't like them. They done got up to Ohio State. They got up to Ohio State level of I don't like you or I hate you, but there's not a mutual respect for it. I have a mutual respect for Ohio State. I don't have it with Oregon. So that's what it is. Let me read these super chats. I appreciate the super chat, Ron Charver, Dom coming in with that good knowledge, you know, from the history of the game, you know, Michigan, Ohio State, and college football in general. Dom was cooking earlier. And you can see him. He's usually on Maze, Madman calling in. So shout out to him. And Michigan Gold Blue 1234. Shout out to you, bro. And You know, shout out to Maze Madman. I've been going on there pretty consistently. Shout out to Boxing Maniac, all the other callers, Marcus, of course. And you know, I'm probably gonna do that Indiana video probably Monday. That Indiana worries me. That scheme and their coach's mentality, it worries me. If I'm gonna be real, more than Ohio State. Yeah, I hate it. I mean, it does. It does. That's just a fact. That scheme and that coaching, it worries me. You know, so it is what it is. You know, we're gonna continue to cook and get through this season. We still the champs. We still enjoying whatever, but we got to talk about it. The good times, the bad times. Knowing you can always count on me. For sure. Y'all too young for that. Y'all too young for that one, bro. Y'all too young for that. But yeah. So like, share, subscribe, and let me get us out here on a good.
Great to be a Michigan Wolverine.